why is Trump threatening 100% tariffs against the BRICS for going away from the mighty dollar when the entire central thesis of Bitcoin is to be away from the mighty dollar? It's an anti-fiat, decentralized, apolitical narrative. Now it couldn't be more centralized, more political, and frankly, more centralized. And so these paradoxes, Voorhees wanted something outside the system, now it's in the system. Trump said it was a scam 3 years ago, now it's making the headlines as a Bitcoin strategic reserve. You've got to ask why this sudden change. And if Trump is so afraid of the BRICS going away from the dollar, why would he laud Bitcoin, which his entire narrative is to be anti-dollar? And the way I look at it is, again, I think, and Luke Groman made a brilliant analogy of this in the 1970s. This is not a conspiracy theory. OPEC got together with Kissinger and his crew and they said, look, and this came out 10 years ago. It's not a theory. It's a reality. We're going to inflate oil. We're going to inflate it by hundreds of percentage points. It's dollar backed with the petrodollar now. We're going to inflate it. It's going to draw attention into the oil trade. It's going to help us pay down some of our post-Vietnam debts. And to me, it's very coincidental that we're inflating Bitcoin now politically to draw attention to Bitcoin, because Bitcoin and Ripple are a pair trade. You can trade between Bitcoin and Ripple. The higher the Bitcoin price, the higher the interest in Ripple. You create a bubble in Bitcoin, very centralized, very pre-thought out, years ago in my opinion, long before Bitcoin was launched, Ripple and XRP was launched. It makes perfect sense now. You make a bubble in Bitcoin, and then you use that to draw money into Tether, which is going to be supported by U.S. Treasuries. It takes the pressure off the Fed and off the headlines to buy unwanted bonds. It's kind of complicated, but it makes sense. By the way, that doesn't mean that's actually a tailwind for Bitcoin, the politicization, the centralization of Bitcoin. It's actually good for Bitcoin investors. So I'm not saying Bitcoin's stupid, Bitcoin's going to die, Bitcoin's going to zero. I'm saying Bitcoin's narrative of decentralized, anti-fiat, anti-government, maverick, ironically, is the exact opposite of that. And that's typically how PSYOPs work or Intel programs work. You telegraph something as something blue when in fact it's a red pill. And that's a very cynical view, could be wrong, but I don't think it's a coincidence that you have former guys like Glenn Lilly, who was at the NSA, who created the Bitcoin deep hash programs in 2001. It's not a coincidence that Ripple came out before Bitcoin. To me, the dots are all connecting. In short, we're creating a Bitcoin bubble to create a Tether interest, and Tether is CBDC. It's just not issued by a central bank.